Have you ever wondered how a carpenter from a small town in the Middle East could have such a profound impact on the world? This is the enigma of faith, the mystery that surrounds the life and teachings of Jesus Christ. 2,000 years ago, amid the dust and heat of Bethlehem, a child was born. Little did the world know that this humble birth would mark the beginning of a journey that would forever change the course of human history. From teaching the virtues of compassion and love to performing awe-inspiring miracles, Jesus' life was a testament to the transformative power of faith. His message transcended borders, cultures, and time itself, inspiring millions across generations. But how did this come to be? What is it about Jesus that resonates with so many? Join us on this journey as we discover the life of Jesus. In the humble town of Bethlehem, a child named Jesus was born. Amidst the hustle and bustle of a crowded city, in a simple stable, the story of a Savior began. His mother Mary and father Joseph had traveled a great distance, following a star that shone brightly in the night sky. They were ordinary people, chosen for an extraordinary purpose. Underneath that star, in the quiet of the night, Jesus entered the world. His birth, a divine event, was heralded by angels and visited by shepherds and wise men alike, each drawn by the promise of hope and salvation. This was no ordinary child. This was a king, born not in a palace, but in a manger. So began the journey of Jesus, the humble carpenter's son who would grow to challenge the status quo, heal the brokenhearted, and spark a movement of love and compassion that would span centuries. This child would grow up to change the world. As Jesus grew, so did his wisdom and teachings. His message was a simple one, but it held a profound truth that continues to resonate in the hearts of millions today. Love, a four-letter word that captures the essence of his teachings and his life. Jesus taught that love wasn't just an emotion, but a way of life. He urged us to love our neighbors, not just those who were easy to love, but also those who were difficult. He called us to extend our circle of compassion beyond our families and friends, to include the stranger, the outcast, the ignored. But his teachings didn't stop there. Jesus also emphasized the importance of self-love. He reminded us that we are all children of God, worthy of love and respect. He taught us that before we can truly love others, we must first love ourselves. Not in a vain or narcissistic way, but in a way that recognizes our inherent worth and dignity. Forgiveness was another cornerstone of Jesus' teachings. Forgive and you will be forgiven, he said. He encouraged us to let go of resentment and bitterness, to forgive those who have wronged us, not for their sake, but for ours. Because in holding on to hate, we only imprison ourselves. He also taught us about the power of faith, of believing in things unseen. He showed us that faith is not just about believing in God, but also believing in ourselves, in our capacity to love, to forgive, to change. And finally, he taught us about the transformative power of love. He showed us that love can heal, can bridge divides, can bring about peace. He demonstrated this through his own life, through his acts of kindness and compassion, his willingness to stand up for the marginalized, his readiness to lay down his life for others. His teachings have continued to guide millions, even after 2 millennia. They remind us that at the heart of all religions, all spiritual paths, is love. Love for God, love for others, love for ourselves. And it's through this love that we can truly discover Jesus, and in turn, discover ourselves. Jesus didn't just teach with words. He demonstrated his divine power through miracles. These miracles, more than just extraordinary acts, were signs of compassion, love, and the arrival of God's kingdom on earth. Consider the story of the 5 loaves and 2 fish. Thousands had gathered around Jesus, hungry for his teachings, and as the day wore on, hungry in a much more literal sense. With only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, Jesus fed the multitude. This miracle wasn't just about feeding the hungry. It was a powerful message about God's abundant generosity and provision. Then there's the account of Jesus calming the storm. His disciples were terrified, thinking they were about to perish at sea. But Jesus, with a word, calmed the wind and the waves. This miracle revealed his authority over nature and offered a comforting reassurance. In the midst of life's storms, we are not alone. And let's not forget the numerous instances where Jesus healed the sick and the infirm. These weren't just acts of physical healing, but also profound demonstrations of his compassion. For instance, When he healed the woman who had been bleeding for 12 years, he not only cured her ailment, but also restored her dignity and social standing. Perhaps one of the most impactful miracles was the raising of Lazarus from the dead. This wasn't just a display of Jesus' power over death, but a foreshadowing of his own resurrection and a promise of eternal life for those who believe in him. These miracles, each unique in their context, were not just acts of divine power, but were messages imbued with love and hope. They revealed a God who cares deeply about human suffering, who steps into the chaos and brokenness of our world to bring healing and restoration. These miracles were a testament to his divine nature and love for humanity. In an ultimate act of love, Jesus laid down his life for humanity. This act, born out of profound compassion, has echoed through the ages, becoming the cornerstone of Christian faith. In the days leading up to his crucifixion, Jesus was subjected to trials and accusations. Despite facing these adversities, he remained steadfast in his message of love and forgiveness. He bore the weight of the world's sins, knowing the path that lay ahead of him was one of suffering. The crucifixion itself is a poignant event in Christian history. Jesus, nailed to the cross, endured unimaginable pain. Yet, amid the torment, he forgave those who persecuted him, uttering the words, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." In this moment, we see the embodiment of his teachings: forgiveness in the face of hostility, love in the face of hatred. But the crucifixion was more than just an event of physical suffering. It was the fulfillment of prophecy, a divine plan for the salvation of humanity. Jesus, by willingly accepting his fate on the cross, was offering himself as a sacrifice for the sins of all mankind. The significance of this sacrifice for Christians cannot be overstated. It is the crux of our faith, the event that paves the way for our redemption. Through his sacrifice, Jesus offered us a chance at forgiveness, a path to reconciliation with God. This message of redemption and forgiveness is at the heart of Christian belief. It teaches us that no matter how far we may stray, we are never beyond the reach of God's love. It gives us hope, reinforcing the belief that despite our flaws and failings, we are cherished by a God who gave his only Son for our salvation. In conclusion, Jesus' crucifixion is a testament to the magnitude of his love for humanity. His willingness to endure suffering and death for our sakes is a powerful demonstration of his divine love and mercy. His sacrifice symbolizes the depth of his love and compassion. Jesus' story didn't end with his death. 3 days later, he rose from the dead. This miraculous event, celebrated as the resurrection, is the cornerstone of Christian faith. It's the ultimate triumph over death, a symbol of hope, a promise of eternal life for everyone who believes. The resurrection is more than just an historical event. It's a profound spiritual truth. It's about renewal and rebirth, about God's power to bring life out of death, hope out of despair. It sends a message that love is stronger than hate, that life can conquer death, that faith can overcome doubt. But the story of Jesus didn't end there either. After his resurrection, Jesus appeared to his disciples, affirming their faith and commissioning them to spread his teachings to all nations. This marked the birth of the Christian Church, a community of believers united by their faith in Jesus and his teachings. Since then, Jesus' teachings have spread far and wide, transcending boundaries of culture, language, and geography. His message of love, compassion, and forgiveness has inspired countless individuals, communities, and movements throughout history. It has shaped our moral compass, influenced laws and societal norms, and spawned a host of humanitarian efforts. From the civil rights movement in America to the struggle against apartheid in South Africa, from efforts to combat poverty and injustice to initiatives promoting peace and reconciliation, the influence of Jesus' teachings can be seen everywhere. Even today, Jesus continues to inspire millions around the world. His teachings guide our actions, shape our values, and give meaning to our lives. It's not just about following a set of rules or rituals. It's about embodying the values that Jesus lived by: love, compassion, humility, forgiveness. It's about striving to be better, to do better, to love better. Jesus' story didn't end with his death or even his resurrection. It continues to unfold in the hearts and lives of believers around the world. His resurrection marked a new beginning and continues to inspire millions around the world. Jesus' life and teachings have touched countless lives across centuries. His message of love, forgiveness, and compassion resonates with millions, shaping their perspectives and guiding their actions. Each of us has a unique faith journey, a personal path that we tread in our quest to understand and embrace the divine. As we navigate the challenges and triumphs that life throws our way, the teachings of Jesus can be a beacon, guiding us towards love and compassion. His message encourages us to see the divine in each other, to extend kindness even in the face of adversity, and to forgive as we have been forgiven. As we explore our faith journey, we are invited to reflect on how these teachings can be applied in our lives. How can we embody love and compassion? How can we extend forgiveness to those who have wronged us? We invite you to explore your own faith journey and discover how Jesus' teachings can transform your life.